So final means you can set it once and never again, all right? And it's the Java version, well, if I say like final x, and typically int x, and typically we make final variables all capital, and we'll talk about that, equals 15. I can never set x again. I can never be like x equals 33. That's a no-go. As we'll see, I'll do an example in processing here real quickly, okay? And so final is a way to do constants in Java, okay? It's also a way, people use the word immutable, and immutable means kind of the same thing as a constant. It's unchangeable, but it has more implications as we start getting into objects and looking at the memory of objects a little more. Those will make more sense. So final int x equals 15 means x can't be changed again after this point, okay? After it's set initially, right? So now in a class, you can have a final variable, right? So a final private variable. And what that means is either it has to be set, so in a class, a final private variable. Final private variable, okay? Can either be set when created or must be set in the constructor. Okay. Let's delve into this just a little bit because I want you to have a good mental map of what's going on here. All right, so I have final int x, and I hover over it, and it says the value of this local variable x is not used. Okay, that's fine. So now I say final int x equals 15, all right? And then I can say x equals 32, and this thing will immediately be like, hold on a second, all right? The final local variable x cannot be assigned, right? So you can't assign it after this point, after the point that you assign it once. Now, we could decide not to assign it up here, and then we could write our name and cement down here, and now the error goes away. We're only assigning it once, so it's all good, okay? Now, if we go to class world, right, here's class world. I think this will work, okay? We can make a private variable final, all right? So we could say final int ball height and final int ball width. Now, what's that gonna mean? Well, that means for the run of, so once you make the ball instance, it won't change in its dimensions. It won't suddenly get bigger, right, in both height or width. It will stay those dimensions for the whole run of the program, that particular instance. So instances can have different sizes, okay? So ball A could be this size, and ball B can be this size, and ball C could be this size. All right, we'll just call them A, B, and C. Okay, so they're each their own size, and they're gonna stay that size. There's no such thing as setting the ball width, so there's no setter for the ball width. There's no setter for the ball height. Okay, they are initialized in the constructor, and they have to be initialized in the constructor. Or they have to be initialized up here. So let's see an example of that. So if we don't initialize them in the constructor, we're going to get an error, and the error says ball height may not have been initialized, okay? And since ball height's not initialized, well, that's going to be an issue, right? Because the only places you can initialize it are up here and in the constructor. Well, let's say we decide to initialize it up here. That means the user doesn't get a chance to initialize it to the value they want, it's always going to have a ball height of 30 and a ball width of 40. Okay, so now it's turning into something where no matter what the instance is, it's always going to have those values, right? And so at this point, you need to think about, well, maybe it's also static, which we'll talk about in a second. Okay, but typically what we'll do is, okay, I don't want the ball height. Once you come up with the ball height shouldn't change and the ball width shouldn't change because that would look weird. You can change the velocity. Of course, its position's going to change, right? You have to change the velocity so it bounces off stuff. But it's suddenly jumping and getting bigger. That's not my intention here. So I'm going to make ball height a final and ball width a final. Okay, and in that case, I will say you can make it any ball height and ball width you want. Just construct it any way you want, right? And then, but once you construct it, that's not going to change, all right? So when we come over here, we see that my ball 1 equals new ball width over 2, height over 2, so it's center X and center Y, and with a width and height, an ellipse width and an ellipse height of 30, 30. Okay, that means that ball's going to stay 30, 30. It won't change. You can't suddenly later on go my ball 1 dot set width and set height to 50, 50. All right, and if that's the behavior you want in your program, that's perfect. Okay, so you can begin to think, oh, okay, so anything that I want to be set once and then have that be it, right? I might make final. Or, so a lot of times you'll see people make a value for gravity final, okay? And whatever that value is, final double gravity, and we'll call it, I don't know, 9.8 or something like that, okay? And this is giving me a weird, this has been doing this for a while. X may have not been initialized. Oh yeah, okay. So now it's initialized. And then final double gravity 9.8, error on that. I don't know. This program's being stupid because it keeps on claiming there's an end of file, but found X, and I don't know why it's doing that. If I take that out, suddenly it'll be all right. So I don't know. Well, it's not. Nothing's wrong here. It's all good. It just is screaming about something that it doesn't understand. So, all right. Or if I figure that out later, I'll tell you. But that's the idea, right? So they might make gravity 9.8, and it's the same gravity for the whole run of the program, right? And since this is just a global variable, that gravity is going to be, it's not going to be unchanging, right? And then later on, we want to make a game with no gravity or less gravity, right? We're doing our game in space. Everybody's got to have a space game, right? And so we make it 4.8. Okay, and now we have much less gravity, whatever that means, all right? So we could think about that, but hopefully final makes sense. You can set it once, and you can't set it again. And in classes, it could either be set outside the constructor immediately, or you better set it in the constructor, because those are the only two places you can set it, and you'll get an error otherwise. All right, Java's version of immutability and constants, right? Something that's a constant can be done with final. All right, I will continue in the next video. We'll dive into static a little more and give you a better understanding of that.